Go is the oldest game that is still played today. To play, each person places these pieces, called stones. Like chess, there are two colors to pick from, white or black. To earn points, players must take each other's stones by completely surrounding them with their own. Groups that become encircled are promptly removed from the board and referred to as dead. Groups that continue to stay on the board are referred to as alive. It mostly boils down to this. Try to ensure the life of your own stones and the death of your opponents. Learning how to manage these two concepts through strategy and game sense allows people to achieve higher levels of play. Between two players of the same caliber, the life and death of all pieces on the board should be expected to remain in some sort of balance. However, several matches seem to disprove this. Japan believes the sakura to represent the cycle of life and death. It is a symbol of both the beauty and impermanence of living. In the game of Go, there are many opportunities for cycles. In this position, black is able to place their piece here and capture this white piece. However, white can respond by placing their piece here and capturing black's piece. This is a ko, a position that allows for both players to repeat the same moves practically forever. To prevent such repetition, the ko rule was put in place, a rule that states stones must never repeat the position of any stone taken immediately before. In 1582, a game of Go would be played between a player by the name of Honinbo Sansa and his rival Kashio Rigon. The match would take place at a monastery in Kyoto and would be presided over by a warlord named Nobunaga. Partway through, a triple ko would develop. It is exactly what you think it is. Such a position allows for an indefinite game, as moves can be repeated in such a fashion that the ko rule will not be broken, since said rule only applies to positions that have occurred the turn immediately before. Although some modern tournaments have instituted measures to get around this, traditionally, such a position would simply suspend the game. Thus, to the disappointment of Nobunaga and other onlookers, the match would abruptly end. The following day, Nobunaga would die. One of his allies, Akechi Mitsuhide, would instigate a rebellion, surround the monastery, and assassinate him. To this day, it is still considered a bad omen to encounter a triple ko. Several years after this game, Honinbo Sansa would go on to establish the prestigious Honinbo House, a school of Go players that has harbored some of the finest players of the game. Starting in 1612, every generation of the school would grant its most valuable player the honorable title of Honinbo, with Sansa being the first. Following this line of prodigies, we can reach Honinbo Jowa, the 12th Honinbo. In 1828, a game would be scheduled between Jowa and another professional, Inoue Genan Inseki, in celebration of Inseki's promotion to 8 Dan. Jowa, being the very respectful guy that he is, would immediately cancel the game, claiming that Inseki's promotion had been wrongfully obtained and thus any celebration was unwarranted. Because of this, the two would become fierce rivals. In 1834, Inseki would send his pupil Akaboshi and Tetsu to play Jowa. Only 25 years old at the time, Akaboshi was widely considered to be the successor of Jowa for Meijin, a title that signified the greatest player of the era. Although starting off the match somewhat strong, Akaboshi would ultimately fold to Jowa, who, through a series of so-called brilliant moves, would circumvent all of Akaboshi's advances. Their game would last a grueling 4 days, with no breaks, no time to relieve themselves or even eat a little bit of food. In the end, Akaboshi would lose, and in his failure, he would bend over the table and vomit blood. Several months later, the future Meijin would be pronounced dead. You know, this has been a lot of death. Why don't we focus on something more peaceful? Let's go somewhere nicer. Hey, I think I see a game of Go being played somewhere over there, in the Japanese suburbs. Let's go. Okay, let's just focus on this nice looking competitive game being played between this guy named Utaro Hashimoto and this guy named Koharu Iwamoto. It is the final day of the game and the board from yesterday has been fully set up. Alright, they're going to play any moment. The date is August 6, 1945. The suburbs are located in Hiroshima. An atomic bomb has been dropped 3.1 miles away. Approximately 80,000 Japanese have just been vaporized. Both the venue and some members of the audience were injured in the blast. Interestingly, instead of evacuation or any form of suspension of the game, a lunch break would be called. Both players would continue, and Hoshimoto would win by 5 points. It's fascinating how, despite the fear and disaster, both chose to keep on playing the game of life and death.